Alistair does not have a tail!
You know what? Never mind. The show sucks now. I'm out of here. I'm just kidding. No, not really, no. I am very disappointed, but I still loved the new episodes regardless. That's how good they were. Anyway, let's start with episode 3, Behind Closed Doors. It picks up right where we left off in episode 1, after Emily's visit, and Charlie sharing the good news with everyone, with Cherry being the only one to doubt Sir Pentious' redemption, but only because she's still navigating her feelings towards him, and Husk knows what I'm talking about. I also like that he said Angel too deserves redemption. It was sweet. But the most notable event that happened in the episode was Vox and Velvet's lovely visit to the hotel. Since they've been talking shit about Charlie and the hotel, she decided to invite them for an interview now that she knows redemption is possible. Which I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it, but it was a bad idea from the start. And even Veggie tried warning her about it and told her to wait a little bit, at least until they can actually prove it. But Charlie being Charlie did it anyway, and as proof she decided to redeem Angel by having him be more like Sir Pentious. Literally, while Vox and Velvet were watching the entire time. And he was actually afraid of them and was warning Charlie about them, and Vox made his distaste towards him very clear, because we know that he hates him for taking away Val's attention. But it's not like it's Angel's fault, and this episode reminded everyone that they aren't better than Valentino. They do enable him, and Vox seems to actually enjoy seeing Angel suffer. And I think that we will see that in the future, but for now let's move on to the train scene, where Charlie tied Husk up to the tracks so that Angel would save him and be redeemed. But something went wrong, and by something I mean Vox cut the brakes, so Husk was about to get hurt for real. So Angel immediately jumped in front of the train to save him, but luckily Veggie managed to save them both. And Husk was furious at Angel for putting his life on the line for him, and it's clear he was absolutely worried for him, but they had a fight and Vox enjoyed the entire thing, and reminded Charlie that he's still not redeemed. But then Charlie realized that this won't work for Angel, because he needs to go against his own sin. Something he doesn't want to talk about, but Vox told her anyway, and it's that he killed his father. And if he's anything like Crimson, then good for him. But still, Vox crossed one too many lines this time, so Charlie and Veggie kicked him out, and he used the footage he got to further smear Charlie. But before he left, he asked her if she thinks he can be redeemed, and she told him anyone can be. And I can't read his expression, but to me he looked annoyed. But why? Is it because he always thought he'd go to heaven, so now he'd rather think that he never had a chance than admit he fucked up? But whatever it is, I think we will know later. And Angel is now angry with her because it is her fault, since she pushed him to do all of this. She tried to apologize, but he didn't accept it, and some guests ended up leaving, but Cherry decided to stay at the hotel after she talked with Baxter about Sir Pentious, and I love that he insisted that they were only lab partners, but then proceeded to tell her that they got divorced and Pentious took the kids. I always had a feeling that Baxter was the one who made the Egg Boys. And now we move on to the next episode. It's a deal. But before that, I have to mention that Alistair is upset with Charlie. He seemed so in the first episode, and in the third one he was visibly annoyed with her when she went to tell him about Pentious, and he left her when the V's showed up. The question is, why? Is it because she didn't look for him after the battle? I mean, I doubt that, but if it's true, I wouldn't mind it. Anyway, he was annoyed with Lucifer as well. It was hilarious, but not for Alistair, so he quit. And went to tell Rosie, who told him he doesn't have a choice in the matter because she owns his soul. And even though I was fortunate enough to not come across the leaked clips, I still knew that Rosie is the one who owns Alistair's soul. I just have more context now. And it's a lot. And she's the reason he was doing everything. She told him to stop killing overlords, and disappear for 7 years and work at the hotel. But why though? I don't see how that may benefit her. Well, the hotel, maybe, but what about the other things? However, it is definitely related to the favor Rosie asked of Alistair, who made a deal with her when he was alive. He knew he was going to hell, so he decided to prepare for it by asking Rosie to make him the strongest sinner in hell, in exchange for something we don't know yet. But apparently she did make him the strongest. It's just not enough to take down Adam. But how? How did she do it? And wouldn't that make her the strongest as well? Or maybe not, because I think that demons may have the ability to grant any wish so long as it's made by a human. For a price, of course, because otherwise she would be a lot more powerful than she looks. But still, I didn't like that she treats Alistair like a pet, and I really loved her. But I guess she's not as kind as she seemed in season 1. And even though she should probably help Alistair get his strength back to hold her end of the deal, she still dismissed him because it was his fault. Although I shouldn't be surprised because she's in hell for a reason. But still, and Alistair has a plan to help himself apparently, and it's to let himself get captured by the V's. And I still don't get how will that help him, unless it's to make himself useless for Rosie, and he'd rather be Vox's prisoner than her pet. But he did do it on 2 conditions. One, to let Husk and Nifty go, because they went there to help him, and I thought it was sweet. And 2,
you're not to lay your hands on Charlie Morningstar.
I thought vivziepop doesn't want people to ship them. And I know it will never be canon, but this is just feeding my delusions, and I want more. There's a lot of ship teasing this week. I'll get to it in a minute, but for now, let's go back to Alistair. He wanted to get captured by the V's. He knew what Fox might do to him, but he still was willing to go with it, cause the end goal is worth all of that. But I don't really get his plan. I think he probably wants to finally ask Charlie for that favor, but what use will that be to him now? I'm genuinely confused. But we did get to see some backstory of Alistair and Vox's partnership, or rather how it ended. It was back when Vox still had his old TV head, and they seemed to have a good relationship. So Vox asked him to team up with him and be his partner, in more than one meaning, although it was only implied. And Alistair just laughed at him. And even if he definitely could have been a little more considerate, I like to think he wasn't just being needlessly cruel. Cause what if Vox didn't really change? What if he has always been like we see him now? Cause we see that despite what he says, he doesn't see himself as part of a team, but rather the leader. And Alistair saw right through him back then, so he rejected him coldly. And while all of that was happening, Charlie went to 666 News, again, to clear up her name, which is a bad idea. And Veggie told her so. But Charlie didn't listen. I think she's being extra impulsive because she knows that she's right now, but I still enjoyed Katie Killjoy acting like Bryce. And now let's talk about the shipping. First we have the Hasker Dust. While I shipped them since before the show was released, I never thought there were any romantic tension in the first season, at least from Husk's side, but now I think it's at least starting to build up, with their fight and Husk trying to apologize for it later, though I doubt they'll be canon by the end of this season, but maybe in the next one. Now to Radio Apple. Well, I would have loved to see them bicker more, but Alistair is kidnapped now, so maybe Lucifer will try and save him? Hopefully. It would be perfect. But I think the most prominent ship this week is Radio Static, or rather Radio Silence, cause now it is confirmed that Vox totally had a crush on Alistair before, but Alistair never even saw him as a friend. And there were just so much tension that even Val had to comment on it.
You two should just fuck already.
And I think there might be a little bit of Charlister as well. Just a tiny bit, although it's not really that, but I will take it. And I think that's it. The season is getting better as it goes. The songs are amazing. The animation is beautiful. These last episodes got me so hyped for next week, and I can't wait. Especially since they will save Alistair in the next one. Right? I hope. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
You pull shit like that again and I'll fucking spank you.
Thank you.